Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fed Up with me, Fed Up Gaz. Joining me today, apologies in advance if I butcher this, is Og from the band Eshtadur and currently on tour in the States with the Convalescence. And how is it going today, man?
Oh, good, man. Oh, just starting my day. A little bit late. Heading to the swimming pool.
Hey, nothing like that. Nice way to relax, get some downtime. So I've got to jump straight in, man. How is the tour going at the moment? And that must be super exciting at the moment as well.
Yeah, pretty much. We just finished the whole tour. The last day was last week on
Right.
Friday. We finished the tour in Richmond, Virginia, with very good concert, very nice people, very nice vibe. And at the end, we were like, okay, I think this is all. It was 19 shows,
Wow.
some straight, some with a. We had 2 or 3 days off in the middle of the tour, but it was okay. And hanging out with the boys of Summer Cycle, um, chilling around. It was good. It was good for us.
Did you get a good reaction to the songs from the crowd? Did they get invested in it? Some good energy. I know there's some of the recent videos have dropped as well, which we'll get into. Just wondered what the audience response was like on the tour.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think pretty much it was like the best because everyone was involved with every song and with
Nice.
our with our shows, and particularly with the new song that we released recently, the song called Umbra. We always play that song, so it was like everyone was around, and they were like liking the song and understanding and checking out, like hearing, and this is a new track, so we got a nice response for everyone, even from the guys from the other bands, the opener band, the supporter bands. They were like, "Oh man, this track rocks!" So that was good
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good when you get that response as well. And I mean the new song there, Umbra, the video, I really like it, man, because it's got that mysterious edge to it. Very, shaman looks like kind of a shaman at the beginning. Um,
Yeah,
and I know you guys, I know you've been around a while now, but I'm interested in your thoughts on this. We're seeing more bands now from around the world, and I know some have been doing this kind of, if you like, incorporating more ancient cultures into the music. I know it's not exactly that new, but it seems to be gaining more popularity where we'll have a band will look at kind of First Nations culture. They'll use traditional instruments, things that may have been forgotten, and then blending that with extreme metal. Um, do you think people there's that desire to kind of both explore the sounds of the past and then use that with the extreme music to present something different? It because it does, it kind of adds that strength to the music. It's just a little bit different, and then it's kind of like we're playing the music of our ancestors with modern music as well. I just wondered what your opinion on this was.
yeah. I think we all the bands that have been doing this for a while. This is not new, but
Yeah,
this is something we are all doing. That means we are on the good on the right direction, you know. So having these kind of representations and including like ancestral instruments, this is all good. We have checking all bands that have been doing this for a while. Like for example, bands like the Who,
mm,
they got some folk instruments from Mongolia,
mm,
and they do this Metallica cover, and now they are touring United
mm.
States. They play with Megadeth, they play with great bands and big stages. So that's something good. But the good thing is to do it properly. Not everyone is capable of doing a good arrangement. Not everyone is capable of having their culture and their instruments, like doing it in the right way, like how it is supposed to sound,
Yeah.
uh, to be musically nice, harmonically, and not like just exploring, experiment, weird, um, you know.
Yeah, to be, as you said, I think faithful to the culture, to make sure the sound is authentic, not just. I guess I know exactly what you're referring to, where you get some
Yeah,
bands where they're just injecting it for the sake of it, and it's not done in the right manner. It's not. The song
no,
isn't structured correctly, and you can feel like this is just being kind of put into the music as an afterthought, purely
yeah,
for a marketing
it has to
purpose.
be genuine,
Yeah, uh,
natural.
yeah, especially, and I think just to be respectful as well to that culture,
Oh yeah,
especially in the very ancient cultures. Being a martial artist and interested in martial arts as well, that's personally very important to me to um, respect those cultures that came before us as well, especially as in parts of the world, some of these sounds and people are it's becoming even less, like the dying out, even the languages. And I think if we can help preserve that in any way as well, but in the correct way, as you're saying, then that only helps. Which I found particularly interesting, is that the you're also taking the ancient native language from Colombia, and um, yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it because I don't want to butcher it. Yeah, I can,
it's
yeah,
called purepecha. Purepecha.
Purepecha, Purepecha. That's it. If I hear someone pronounce it, then I can get the sound. But yeah, I'd be such a good ambassador meeting their culture for the first time or whatever, and then totally mispronouncing everything, and then it probably has the complete different meaning. Everyone then gets offended, like, "Yay, nice one, guys!" But as we've just been touching on there with paying respects to ancestors and everything, and we see that in the music, is that something that's always been important to you as a person, to acknowledge where we once came from, so that we can remember those cultures and as I said, try and preserve them in a way as well?
Yeah, totally. I think
Mm,
not all the time, because you gotta change your perception in the meantime you are growing up. And but in the last years, in the couple of last 5 or 4 years, I have been interested in knowing many kind of music from
mm,
everywhere.
mm,
To get wider your perception, not only about music, but about culture, about what people think, about how does it work, and what are you representing in your own manner.
mm,
So that's very important to me in the last years, and I have been working on that, figuring out like how to involve this kind of stuff. At first, for example, in the last album, Mother Gray, 20 2017, I tried to involve overthrow singing, like Mongolian singing,
yeah.
but now it is more. It is more powerful, more strong. Participation is over the whole song in Umbra, chorus on background, and the new song that is coming out by the end of this month is gonna have the same stuff.
Nice.
A Colombian folk instrument called tiple colombiano, which is 4 strings in a row, similar to a guitar, but it has a very particular sound because it has the same note one over again, one pitch, then octave pitch, and then again another one. So the sound is like very particular, and also Umbra has this song included. which is
yeah,
very important to us because this is an instrument that it has been representing the Colombian music for many years, and I admire so much authors like Adolfo Mejia, for example. He only composes pieces for piano and for tiple, for guitar, and it was back on the 70s or 60s for our culture. So it is like our background and
yeah,
how to take advantage of that,
yeah,
and also to do um, how do you say that, to respect that in a
yeah. You see,
sí,
yeah,
de admiración. You know how do you say
yeah,
that? Admiración de
yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
help me out.
Yeah, yeah. Come with it. Um, yeah, it's like we say, it's man, I've forgotten in Spanish. Yeah, it's to pay.
El legado,
Yeah, yeah. So you get yeah, yeah,
legacy.
yeah, exactly that legacy. Um,
Mhm.
I, I'm a fan of history and ancient cultures in general, and then science fiction on top of that. So when I come across bands such as yourself that use this within the music, um, and I'm sure people have said this to you before, but it's almost as if like you can, as we've been saying here, the ancient cultures and our ancestors from before, like speaking to you from the music, through the music, and it always grabs my attention, catches my ear because it's something different, and it's like this beautiful melding of those sounds. And what I've found particularly interesting reading is as well about the band is you cover a lot of themes across philosophy, ancient shamanism, mysticism, philosophy, etc. And you were saying you were wanting to learn more about the different cultures from everywhere. I'm guessing like all of us to be more balanced and wider, and that must help being a musician as well because you can think, right, oh,
And
there's a
as a
cool
person,
element. Yeah, and as a person, yeah, it grows, keeps you more open minded, doesn't it? Rather than staying in kind of like one mindset, one way of thinking all the time. Um,
yeah.
and that must be good as a musician because you can draw on those different themes and inspirations for your music. So um, I know you said you've mentioned you've got another song coming, what's going to follow with kind of s- similar themes. So is this
It's a
something that you
continuation. Yeah.
continue? Yeah. So this concept, which I think is awesome, by the way, is that something that you is is there like an end chapter to that, and then will you move on to a different theme?
I think it is on. I think it is on the road and on the direction
Yeah.
that we're gonna go as a band, that we're gonna explore, but we are not going to drop it
Yeah.
for a while. Uh, but we are going to focus on that and to take
Yeah.
advantage of that and to do it in the best way possible, more and more from now on, depending on everyone's response to, and depending on how we can understand it better, because
Hmm.
the song the song runs into a process. For example, when you write it, when you play it, it is totally new for you in your mind.
Mm.
Then when you record it, it's gonna be different because now you have been playing it for so many times that it becomes different to you. Now you have a different perception. After you recording it, now you listen to it many times, so it's gonna changing even more. And now if you are playing it in a tour, let's say we played 19 times, now it's different, and it becomes like that, and it's changing and changing and changing. Then when you have another song, you're gonna pair that, and you are going
Yeah.
to compare.
Yeah.
and do the same process over and over again. And that's how we want to do it, so that the whole album that is being written, almost ready, 10
Yeah.
songs,
Yeah.
is
So
gonna
it's
be
like,
on that direction.
yeah. So it's you've got that as you said, that continuation. It's linked together. It's flowing. It's like one consistent story. I do like the different elements that you put in your music. Definitely, I can hear bits of Septic Flesh as well, who are a fantastic band.
Oh, I love it.
Um, oh, there was oh man, there was a video of them a few years ago. I think when they played in Mexico with an orchestra. Um, Man, that
Yeah,
looked
that's amazing.
amazing. Yeah, and they had like all the I'm probably going to do a horrible job of describing this, but there was like some kind of like I butcher English, don't I? I butcher everything. Like such a yeah, you can speak more than English, but you still butcher English as well. Oh well, at least it's equal in the
We are all butchers.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm from the north, man, so I'm a barbarian. That's my
I
excuse.
butcher pronunciation every time because
Yeah,
I have a big mouth, and my ancestors and my language is a different sound. So
yeah,
I can't be so subtle like women, for example. Women talk easily
yeah,
Spanish
yeah,
because
yeah,
of their qualities. But I'm
yeah,
a big man,
yeah.
like 8 or 9% Viking. So my language is like blah, 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 blah. So brutal, man.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
brutal. My English
yeah,
is not that perfect. You know,
yeah. Yeah, and the same. I tell you what, I
real
used to have.
butcher.
Yeah, I used to have so much trouble pronouncing hechos de menos. I used to that when I was learning, I used to always get that wrong, and I'd keep saying like "is" or like "ichos" all the time. It'd be like, no, 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 and eventually, I got it. It's just hearing repetition. Rep- See, there's a prime example. I can't even speak English.
That's cool, man.
But yeah.
At least we're having fun.
Yeah, yeah. At least the consistency is there in making errors.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um, but yeah, just getting back to your music for a second, whilst I'm just doing
Yeah, we're talking
international.
about septic flesh.
Yeah. So has this, have they always been an inspiration for you, and have you always, we've been talking about this blend with cultures, always wanted to do this with music, where you thought, right, I want to do something that is going to challenge me as a musician and as a person. It's going to allow me to keep expanding, to keep growing, and I can bring in such a wide range of music and sounds, drawing both from the ancient and the modern. And do you feel that helps bands such as yourselves have a bit of a unique quality, present something different? Because we now, there's so many bands now. There's absolutely so many. So I just want to think that gives you that that strong forte, that strong presence.
Yes, absolutely. I think the most you explore and the most you risk in something you like, even if someone doesn't like, or even if your teammates say like, I don't know, man, you are doing same shit that Septic Flesh, and you are doing same shit like this band and this band.
Yeah,
But in my mind, I'm trying to do it on my own way.
yeah,
I'm bringing like everyone's ideas and everyone's uh, likes. Yeah, and everybody likes different style. For
yeah,
example, if you like, let's say, a British music, if you like Queen,
yeah,
I like Queen, but your favorite song is gonna be different than mine. For example, my favorite Queen song is Prince of the Universe. What's your favorite one?
I'm probably going to upset you. I actually don't like them. So
Okay,
no,
that's
yeah,
better.
yeah,
That's better because that's who we are.
yeah,
We can match. We can match on on some stuff, on some things, on some
mm,
aspects,
mm.
but we are allowed to don't match on everything, and
Yeah,
that's good because that's supposed to be that way.
yeah, exactly. And it's refreshing to hear that, because I think sometimes we can get a bit too and this is a theme that's come up in metal as well, with some when I've been talking to some guests recently about gatekeeping, and we're saying, look, it's all right not to like a particular style of music or genre, that's fine, and we get with wanting, say, to preserve an authentic sound within a style, for example, like Death Doom, but there's nothing wrong with bringing in a different perspective or different element. Like, we'll present a different form of black metal, say like cosmic black metal. I know you've got some of the cosmic themes in your music, and cosmic black metal has got very popular recently. Well, I'm not the world's biggest black metal fan, but because cosmic black metal does something different, and it like focuses on like that sci-fi horror, I'm thinking, all right, this is something a little bit out there, an alternative. So like, yeah, I'll explore this and I'll listen to some of those bands. um and there was a point I was going with this as well. Yeah, and it's okay to, like we've said, to have those different opinions, those different favorites. For example, I noticed you're wearing a Michael Jackson t-shirt. So if you ask me, well, what's your favorite Michael Jackson song? Well, I can tell you two, and it's going to be Smooth Criminal, Billie Jean. Probably a lot what everybody says. Um, but yeah, those ones are very catchy. I like the rhythms in them. I respect Queen, even though I don't like them. I respect what they did. I respect the legacy. And I did see the movie about Freddie Mercury, and I found that very interesting. Um, so yeah, that's cool in that sense. Um, I wondered as well for Umbra, you hooked up with the Angelica Silva orchestra, and this they recorded this in a theater as well. I just wondered how you got in touch with them, and and how they did their part in the video, because that is a really cool thing, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Come,
I'm very proud of that because I was trying to do that like for many years,
yeah,
and it's all about sacrifices, because it's not gonna be for free. A
yeah,
whole orchestra is not playing for free.
yeah,
It's 50 people playing, and you gotta feed them at least. They
yeah,
gotta they gotta they need transport as same as you.
yeah,
So it's a hard logistic is very hard, but we made it. We made it
yeah,
work with the help of our whole team, Eshtadur team, from sound guy, from everyone, bass player, guitar player. Everyone was involved in trying to get the thing running properly. So we contact in Manizales Symphonic Orchestra, which is very good and very popular. I saw them in a concert in my city, and it was very
nice.
good. They play Beethoven and they play Mozart,
Wow,
very challenging pieces, and it
yeah,
was very good. The toning, the toning was not that perfect, like for example Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra, but it was
yeah,
good. It was good.
yeah,
So we tried to do it. We made a negotiation and we record not only one song. We record uh, a couple of songs for saying just a little bit about it and keep it quiet until it is released. But we
yeah,
did several songs with the whole orchestra, and experience was very good. Um, I respect so much the music. I'm a bachelor in music myself, so I
awesome.
wanted to involve that because when I was in the college,
Yeah.
when I was learning and studying, I played the oboe, the
Oh, wow.
the the very very old instrument. You play like it's like a flute, but it's different
Yeah,
and it's more. The sound is particularly genuine and very beautiful. And when I was playing, I was on the front, near to the director, and everyone behind you. You have horns, trumpets, timpanis, basses, violins everywhere. The way you feel that music in your back and in your surrounding, that's magic. I
Yeah,
have to say that's something different, and that's why I wanted to include it and to involve it, not only to be part of symphonic metal, because that's that's not what I want. What I want to include is the sensation, the feeling of having this surrounding so powerful and so magical, because it hits your body. It hits
yeah,
your body,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
different.
yeah. It is that's what I was saying earlier. When you hear bands such as yourself who have all these different ranges musically and with the themes, it like I said, there definitely is something magical about it. It's as if somebody is speaking to you from the ancient past. Even you can be from the other side of the world and that be not your ancient culture, but you can still. It's almost as if it's still awakening something in you as well. If there's like that, um, maybe the commonality in something pure that was untouched, that was untouched before before anything else came and say eroded that culture or polluted it. There's just something free about it. And as we've been chatting in this conversation, I was getting that sense you seem to be a passionate music fan overall. And then you mentioned that you did music at college, so I thought, yeah, definitely. And what I also like, Hog, is the outfit that you have for Umbra as well. You're dressed like a shaman, so I just wondered where you got the costume and how long did it take to film the video.
That's cool. That's cool. That's a very funny part, because it's all about enjoying the process. And all I had in my mind, it was the concept, like to
Yeah.
be respecting this culture from pre-Columbian. In our
Yeah.
language, we say pre-Colombino, from the ancient Colombia and the whole area that lately it was conquered by the Spanish
Mm.
civilization. Christianism and all that kind of movements. So I got that concept, and I related and talked with the guys inside visual media. These guys are the ones that create the video, and they filmed, and they take care of the photography, the art, color, filming, and everything. And I have this sketch with all the ideas. Like, okay, I want a shaman to look similar to this, to involve this kind of culture, this and stuff whatsoever. And they got this custom for me. They have like a professional preparation for creating this kind of avatar,
Mm.
and it was very good, because it was not perfectly uh, directing by me or by anyone. It was not like, okay, it gotta be red line under the eye. No,
Mm.
not that way. We just said, okay, it's gonna be like this. A shaman from this culture, from Colombia, from our ancient culture, and that's what we did, and it was good. It looks cool. It looks very
Mm.
cool.
It almost is like a mini movie. It really does have that feel to it, which I often say this on a lot of the shows. I have a very visual imagination when I listen to music. I get images in my mind and I see it like a film happening, and it I got that sense with Umbra as well. I'm like, man, it was like watching a movie, but with that soundtrack. So I thought it was very well done. I love the costume. Um, being interested in these areas myself, I've got to ask, and forgive me if you may have already done this in previous songs. I've only just come across the band recently when you emailed me. Um, have you ever, or would you be doing some songs about maybe the? I'm going to show my limited knowledge here. So lo siento. Um, Anything about, say, the ancient warrior cultures from that time? Maybe there was a fighting system or an art that particularly had. I don't know. I just wondered if there was anything like that. If you would maybe do a song or have done a song that um, respects and acknowledges that legacy as well.
Yes, this is something we have in our culture nowadays, and it is involved and it's happening in every place of the world.
Mm,
You know, because the ones that controls the world, economy.
yeah,
Uh, Now you get COVID, so you get control of every place you are, and if you are allowed or not
yeah,
to move from that spot and to connect with people. You know, you can't move. You gotta be quiet and you gotta stay there until we are allowed to do it. And that's the new world. But back in times, it was different. It was about magic. It was about how the sun can get us in a proper manner to take
mm,
advantage of several things um, like the ground, like finding, for example, I don't know, fruits, let's say,
mm-hmm, mm,
uh, you know, and many things. Medicine, it was different. Nowadays, you got a receipt. How do you say that? A recipe from a doctor, and you
yeah,
gotta take that if you are going to be uh, better from
yeah,
your illness. But back in the days, all you gotta know it was what are your habits, what are you doing daily, and if you are weak in a certain kind of your body, we got plants, we got roots, we got many things, and combining this stuff, everyone gets better with that medicine,
mm,
magic, people that gets to know how to read the sky. You know, I don't know, many things, many things that now are different, and it's supposed to be the back way, because now we are many people, and everyone gets involved into the system and gets no clue of how it's supposed to be. It's all about money nowadays.
agreed,
But it's not
agreed,
about
yeah,
that. Yeah, it's not about that. They are forgetting about the soul, about the how to be a good person, how to be gentle, how to be. The most important thing I think is how to be okay with yourself. And now it's something very hard. That's why everyone is getting therapy. Everyone is getting traumas from 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 the whole life, and no one knows. No one wants to take like responsibility on that. And now, if you're, for example, mentally stressed, how are you gonna overcome that? It's not
so,
supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be like you are awakened and you are a free person and you can feel good with yourself. Then your world is gonna be good if you're doing it in a positive way or a healthy way in your mind.
yeah, and that's maybe as well why bands such as yourselves are becoming increasingly popular with people, because I feel we've, as you've been saying, we've lost that balance, that connection with the past. It's like you were saying, it's almost if there's a part of our soul that is
Yeah.
missing. And I'm sure if we took from even here, one of our ancient ancestors from wherever in the world, where, as you said, they had that relationship with the sun, the moon, respecting nature, forest, the environment, just more of a balance. Even in terms of putting, I guess, a martial arts spin on this, knowing when to fight, when not to. Um, and if we took one of those ancestors from wherever now, I'm sure they would be probably horrified at how we are now, especially with the obsession with greed. I know there'd be someone there. Well, of course, they wouldn't understand the technology and culture, but let's say put that aside, but looking at how the human behavior, um, yeah, and I think maybe that's where bands such as yourselves, as I've said, are becoming even more popular now because it's helping remind us of who we once were, where we're on in a positive way as well of remembering, as you said, to respect those around us, to respect the planet as well. Um, I mean, we could do a whole other show on this, but we are seeing what's happening with the climate, the deforestation in the Amazon. Um,
Yeah.
and we're seeing
We forgot
yeah,
how to be connected. We
yeah,
forgot how to be a unit because
yeah,
that's who we are. We are a whole unit,
yeah,
and everyone gets like, okay, I'm a single person. I am I am me, and you are you, and we're different. And you gotta be there, and I'm gonna be here,
yeah,
and uh, that's an unhealthy way of living because
yeah,
you are always on a fight. You're
yeah,
always on a fight,
yeah,
and that's not supposed to be that way. You don't see the world on a fight. You mean if
yeah,
a lion wants to eat, if a lion wants to eat, it kill one animal or two for their family, and that's it.
yeah,
But if a man wants to eat, it kills everyone and get advantage of that, and looks how to sell and
yeah,
make profits on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, people.
It's yeah, it's Esta muy triste, really is. Um, inject the odd little butcher in here and there. Sorry.
It was good. It was good.
Thanks, man. I need more practice though. But what was what was uh, what was interesting to read as well? I think this touches on a bit what you were mentioning. When I was reading um, about Umbra, um, you said in the press release that this is the purest and darkest song that you have written. It invokes existence, the cosmos, and it also is about like the darkest side of shadows when light is gone. And
Yeah.
I found all this very interesting because it's like you were writing from a really deep personal space, um, very very powerful emotion, uh, beliefs there, very very strong meanings and things to say. So, um, when you were writing this, did you feel then? I want to both, as we've been saying, respect the ancient culture. So I want to really be authentic with this and do justice to it, but also write really, really honest and really, really strong and really raw. So I just wondered um, how you got your thoughts so you could write that song because it's very powerful.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very very glad that you think that way because not everyone gets to listen properly. Now you heard like superficial stuff,
Mm,
but you gotta connect and see what is going on with this. and I'm glad to that. I'm glad for that, and thank you very much for saying so. But I think Umbra is is something I needed to do because it was part of my healing process in my personal growing as a
Mm,
human being and as a person and as someone who wants to get involved into his next steps, his next dimensions, growing and let's say it growing, but
mhm.
it's about moving and connecting more and more and more. And it was like a necessity that I had. I was very moved at that time. I was like passing through many shit, and I just took advantage of that, and I said like, okay, this is like the most incredible and hard things that I have to overcome and that I have to uh, move move on. I have to move on from this situation, and it was very very hard because I was on my own and I wanted to be that way. And many people came to me and like, hey, you remember that I'm here for you, and I'm your friend or whatever. I'm your mother. I'm your sister or whatever. But I got to do it on my own because that way I could be able to write and to put all that stuff that I was feeling like into something that will be a creation. And that's very good because that's what I like. That's the reason I live. I live to compose music. I live to create, to be creative, you
Yeah,
know. And that's very important because not every day you get that kind of inspiration. It's not
yeah,
everywhere. You can't say like, okay, I'm going to write a song. It's like going fishing. You can say I'm going fishing, but you don't know how many fish are you going to catch.
yeah,
It's not on you. But I knew about it. I said this situation is very special. It's very dark. It's shit. I feel like shit, but I gotta do it. And it took me like 8 or 9 months to do it.
Wow,
Yeah, yeah.
wow,
It
wow.
was not easy. It was a whole process with many things daily, and and changing your mindset. You know, to heal and to understand and to become like a very healthy person that can be okay with herself and live and enjoy.
Yeah, wow, that is a very very honest and raw answer there. Just like literally matching the impression from why you wrote the song. Um, there's sometimes as well. I think when we've been through tragedy or our mind isn't ourselves, and like you said, there can be people around us say, "Look, I'm here to help." But sometimes you need that time alone, and it can be a long time, and people can, family members can get frustrated with you, thinking, "Well, we're trying to help you, but you're closing
Yeah,
us off." But sometimes you need to do that. You have to have that time. It's
yeah,
almost as if you're kind of fighting your own spirit within you,
yeah.
and you're like talking with yourself. People thinking this guy is crazy. It's
Introspection. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a process you
it's
go through,
going
isn't it?
like it's like going into an abyss
Yeah,
because you are the only one that can do it.
yeah,
No one can do it for you.
yeah,
Not your mom, not your
yeah,
girlfriend, not your
yeah,
wife, not your father. No one. Only you
yeah,
can do it. So you gotta do it someday.
yeah,
Everyone has to do it someday. So it was my day.
yeah. But the positive is you've got a killer song come out of that, and the writing is definitely 100% real and raw because that's a lived experience, and you're channeling that in a positive way, and that always makes the best writing, the best music, the best films. I've said this on past episodes of the show because it's somebody's lived experience. It's real. They literally have put themselves or into that song or movie or story. It's there. Again, alluding to past ancestors that we've been chatting about today. Well, that's what they did with the chanting, the singing. Everything was real.
Yeah.
That it come from the spirit, positive, the negative, and it's good that writing and music was the way out for you. And I always say this to people. I'm not sat here preaching as a kind of a professor, you know, who knows everything. No, I don't. But it's finding something that can help give you that balance the way out. For me, it's martial arts. It gives me that balance, that spirituality with it as well. Music, obviously, for you, it could be something different for somebody else. If that helps you, and there's not, I know there's help now for people and family members. You know, people say, "Look, we're here." But this, oops, just nearly destroyed my microphone in the background talking about balance. That wasn't good. Just uh, talking about warrior cultures and martial arts. um, yeah, sometimes you know we do need that time alone, and I've read about writers where they've literally, like you said, shut themselves off in a room for 8 or 9 months, sometimes even a full 12 months, and they have worked on that novel, and they've just gone at it bit by bit each day, and have said it's not easy, but it's something they've had to do. So um, I totally get that, and good that there was the positive way out. But yeah, that must have certainly been a very how do we say this? A very impactful, like had a huge impact on the mind when you're trying to find your way out to get back to that better place. And this has me curious as well, even with the name of the band, Eshtadur, um, which means I think
Rebellion of Angels.
rebellion angels, yeah, rebellion. I wanted to be get it 100% on. So I I just wondered the name. Did you choose that because it's rebelling against organized structure, you know, like oppressing people's safe thought and freedom? I'm being diplomatic when I say this because I'm not, you know, being against anybody's particular faith or belief. I know there's good and bad people in everything. I just wondered if any of those themes, like rebelling in a sense to be free, so you can have your independent thought and kind of not be controlled by something, if that was what inspired the meaning for the name of the band.
Yes, you understand perfectly the whole idea and the whole concept because no religion is going to make you free from your soul or from your shadows. You know,
Mm,
no
mm.
religion. There's no religion that can do that for you. Backwards, religion makes you limits. You know, it set up limits for you, and that's not healthy. We don't have limits in our soul. I mean, in our magic world, in our mind. There's no limits, and that's why I don't like oppressor. I don't like. I like rules, but I don't like rules. You know.
I know what you mean. It's wanting. I think it's freedom of choice and
Yeah.
striving. like we've been talking about having that balance with things. Look,
Yeah,
I have this. I don't discriminate against anybody's particular religion or faith, and I know
yeah,
there's good and bad in all of these faiths. You have really bad examples, and then you have good people who are who are good people, and that's just what they believe in. That is fine. I had a band on the show who were a Christian black and melodic death metal band, if I've got the genre correct. Um, and he was a really really cool guy, and that was just his religion. Um, but the bad examples, as you said, the when we've got when we all know what's happened in history, sadly, and as you said, limiting somebody's thought. It's as we said, if people could remember, just be a good person, be good to people, treat people how you would want to be treated, forget about everything else, man, everything would just be so much easier and simple, probably as things were way back in the day before, as I say, a a conquering power came over to that land, wherever it is, because we know obviously what happened in South America, in North America, and it happened even in Britain with the Romans coming over. So this is it's nothing new. Sadly, this has been happening a long time. So yeah, I totally I feel what you're saying, having that balance and freedom for the soul and thought as well. Um, the other thing
yeah.
I want to ask you about as well. Um, so when you create, I know you started as a one piece, and now you have other members in the band. So when you were writing the songs and you're recording the music, do you all work the on the songs together? I know you wrote Umbra, but as the other songs where the band do have input and you share those ideas?
Yes, of course. We all work as a team, and we have our our reunion. We gather
Yeah,
and we share our thoughts about it, and everyone's different. And then we got a certain kind of agreement on
mm,
how it is supposed to be. And the 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 thing that I most like about it is that they respect that I know what I'm composing, that I know that I'm writing, because I have been doing the whole process for so long, and they already know, like, okay, if I'm not going to uh, add to something uh,
yeah,
that is good, for the idea, I'm not gonna block it. I'm not gonna be an obstacle on that.
yeah,
And that's how we work. That's
yeah,
how we work. But we all think on different ideas. We go there, we go over there, and after relating and sharing, that's how we work. But pretty much it is like a, a way of conceding each other
yeah,
the freedom of doing it. So, and I'm always open to get, for example, ideas, riffs, or even a whole song.
yeah,
I'm always open to that. But we know that we gotta keep the same the same direction that
yeah,
we have been building, that I have been building, and that now for the last couple of 4 years we all together have been building on that.
yeah. Keep it to maintain that core essence of the music and the sound. It's really cool that you all have that input as well, and it's good that they trust you with the writing as well and the songs. Because you have some bands where they can get a bit, oh no, I want to do this, I want to do that. So that's good. You have that strong
Yeah,
relationship. I like as well, man. You've got on the Facebook page as well. There's, as you said, you've put pictures there from the recent tour. There's pictures with the orchestra. You've got one of you say dresses the shaman in the outfit as well. And all of this is really super interesting and really insightful. And the thing that I'm the other impression I'm getting, man, this must just be so enjoyable for you as a musician to get all of these different memories from not just the two, from the orchestra, and then where you've played in the past as well, because you've been all over Europe, pretty much all over, the world. So that is some really good memories to take with you, and many more to come as well. So that must be for you, man. The obvious question, but it must be a dream come true to play all over the world and meet all these different people from all these different cultures as well. It must be really humbling.
Yeah, I'm very grateful about
Yeah,
that every day.
yeah,
I'm thankful. I'm thankful about that every day because I have worked on that, and I have made a lot of sacrifices. And when we did, for example, these last shows, we know it was good, and we felt the mood on the vibes from the people, and they, in a certain way, they are giving you their approval.
yeah,
And it's very important because these people is they are fans of bands like Gojira,
yeah, yeah,
or let's say Amon Amarth, or let's say a very futuristic band, insanely great, Cryptopsy, for example.
yeah,
And and that same people is approving us, and
yeah,
that means a lot. That means all, because that's when you get like your uh, you get your goal,
yeah,
you make it real.
yeah. Wait, yeah. It's that yeah, it's the recognition as well, as you said, and you've reached that goal. Um, the artwork as well for Umbra, I thought was really nice. Touches on, it's like a visual representation for the themes that we've been chatting about. You have like the dark spear and globe, Eshtadur, is above it, and I just wondered. There's two questions here. Is that representing the, you see the like the light behind the dark spear? Is that representing what you were describing, where you were in that dark place for 8 to 9 months, and it's representing the light is in the background, and that's gonna come through the dark, and you're gonna get to that goal? That's my first question.
Yeah, I didn't paint it myself, but
Mm,
I think it does a very good and very
mm,
close
mm,
representation of what is supposed to be Umbra, and
mm.
very artistic, because it's supposed to be an oil painting, and I love that. I love
Mm.
oil painting. I don't know how to paint. I don't know shit
Me either.
about it, but I love to enjoy it and see it.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. So I
yeah,
I think it's approaching very much to
yeah,
the meaning. Of course, yeah, it is good.
yeah. Mi pinturas están muy mala. But um, yeah, I know what you mean. I think it's oil paintings, like we've been saying, they have that kind of tradition, some like that old quality before. I guess, not saying you can't create good art with digital technology, but this, it's kind of like a throwback, and there's just something real about it. I even like the fonts on the lettering, the white there, and some of the effects on the U, just the way it like bends off as well. So curious who did that, who did the artwork for you?
The About the letter,
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
it myself. About the
Nice.
letter, I did it myself, and about the art, it
Yeah.
was a collaboration of several artists.
Wow.
but no one did it. No one did it. Indeed, they all have the participation. Like, I'm going to add this idea. I'm going to add this idea, and I'm going to add this idea. And I gather all with my own idea, of course. And we did the process with this uh, artificial intelligence,
All right.
and we have some sketches. I have 5 sketches
Nice.
from different artists, from different artists. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
So what
just
I did it was to combining all the artists' ideas
yeah.
with a very professional description. It was not just like, okay, I want an oil painting, mm, the moon in the back, black metal, oh cool shit, oh yeah. It was not that. It was it was hard to write it. That's
Yeah.
why we got like a collaboration from several artists just to make a different kind of approach, because the normal thing you do is to pass your idea and to express your idea to
Yeah.
the artist. Then the artist is gonna draw what it feels from your idea, you know. But on this we did, okay, let's talk about how everyone thinks about my idea. And very important, it was only after hearing to the track,
Really. Wow.
only after hearing to the song, and after reading the lyrics, because the lyrics, uh, it was written as a poem in Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I shared it in Spanish as a
Yeah.
poem with the music, and that's how we did it. Like, very different, very weird, eh, and that what we got. That's what we got. Artificial intelligence with a collective mind of several people, artists professionally thinking on how it is supposed to be, and that was the result.
Man, that's fantastic. That obliterates my little previous point where I was saying, oh well, some you can get good at with digital technology sometimes, but I prefer the you know the the oil paintings can make it look more real. But that's good that
Yeah,
you've
I don't like it. I
yeah
don't like to use it, but
yeah
if you use it in a
in it the
creative
right way.
way,
Yeah,
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 it'll be
turn
good.
those guys on. Yeah,
And
yeah,
and it's just about a cover art for the single. It's not
yeah,
the album cover, you
yeah.
know.
But it is it is interessante because um people have heard the poem, like the lyrics is a poem in Spanish, the music as well, and then there's what it must be that stimulated their creativity because then it's the immediate kind of reaction, and then they'll go on to process. So what ideas and images then are going to appear in their mind after listening, and then you've all worked together and they've worked together, and that's pretty fantastic. You said okay, it's a weird way to do it, but it's a different way and an interesting one, and it must have been curious as well because to see what these people then would have created and come up with from hearing the music and the lyrics in that way, and then that's influenced their creativity. So I like it because it's almost as if it's like in a way you are taking say a person, and I know they're not by themselves, they're together, or a group of people, putting them in the room and saying, listen to Eshtadur for the first time. Don't read anything about the band, nothing. We don't want to hear what they sound like, any of that. Just listen to the music and words, and then write down, like write or draw what what you are feeling. So I like that because that's real, and again, it's a perfect segue for me to say it's like how things were done with the ancient cultures as well, with the spoken word, with the vocals, with the music. Somebody else, say, within that tribe or group of people, will have heard somebody then play that sound or sing in that way, and then they add on to it. Kind of like how musicians can jam, how the jam now as well, how you guys must do. I'll play this part, right? I'm going to come, oh, that's good. Or if we add this in. So, no, that's pretty cool. So that gives me the perfect reason to ask, are you going to do that kind of approach again with further singles, for the artwork?
Maybe, yeah.
Mm,
We don't
mm,
have that decided yet, but I think it could be a possibility. Yeah.
yeah. And do you, when is the new album likely to release? It'll be the end of the year or early next year?
Or next year,
Next year.
maybe by the end of the first season of next year. That's what we are preparing. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what we are working on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very stoked, and I'll be very curious to see the artwork for the new album. Any new videos as well that you may be planning to do. Yeah, I'm very curious. Other thing I've got to ask you about quickly as well while you're here, I noticed, got to get this in. You have the Crow beer. Um,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
I mean, we're talking about putting individual, I guess, on an interpretation. So that's a cool name, the Crow. I only honestly, man, I have a crow that visits me. I was sharing this story
Wow.
with a guest on when was I last on? I'm forgetting when I even go live on my own show. That's not good. Um, the last show, I'll just say the last show, and I can't remember how we come into it. I think we were talking. Yeah, that was it. I think we were talking about sometimes cats and dogs that have made appearances on the show. Somebody's been sat talking to me and a cat's just jumped on them in the background. And I was saying, yeah, I have a crow that comes visit me and I feed it, give it water, and it's funny, man. It flies above me, and it'll caw, be, and I know, okay, yeah, you want feeding. I'll put out the food for it, and it'll take like a couple of awkward steps back and forth, and then I'll stand back, he'll eat, and then he'll look at me and he'll caw again, and I'm like, yeah, you want your water, and then I feel like I guess it's like a bird bath kind of thing, some water, and then he flies on that, has his drink, cleans himself, and then he kind of turns around, caws at me, and then flies off. And yeah, it's just I'm it's pretty
He's
cool,
your
man.
friend.
Yeah, and it's cool. I respect it, man, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I've got a crow that comes to visit, so yay. Not many people can say that, I guess. Anyway, but turning the attention back to Crow beer, that I like, man, it's an interesting name. I like the artwork as well on the bottle. So, couple of questions on this. Who did the artwork for you, and how long has this beer been around? And then the third question is, and what have people said about the beer as well? Hopefully they like it.
Oh yeah. Okay. The artist person on all the drawing and design is Carlos Jacome. He's a Colombian designer and graphic visual artist. Incredible. He has participated in many other projects for bands
Nice.
and for Eshtadur as well. He he designs almost everything of Eshtadur. So
Wow.
uh, yeah, it was Carlos. He's great. And how long is it has been on on the bars? I think about a year.
Nice.
I think about a year, yeah. But it's growing up. It's very slowly, and I don't want to push it because it's so hard to have like a brewing branding.
Yeah.
It's and it's very challenging. So I'm going step by step, but it's been good. And I also want to mention that the guitar player of Eshtadur, Jonathan, he's a beer master.
Wow.
He's a chemistry. Yeah, he's a chemistry, and that's what he do.
Oh wow.
That's what he does. He makes beers. So
Yeah.
he has his branding brewing, and we talked about it a year ago. Like, okay, let's create a beer for the band, and we tried several kind of beers. And I said like, okay, I want this, I want this, I want a dark because it's supposed to be dark, and that's what the result is like a black APA, very nice. It's powerful. It tastes like a little bit on chocolate burning at the
Ooh.
end. It's very good. It's a Dutch style premium beer.
Ooh.
It's not a cheap beer. It's a premium beer.
Yeah.
Ultimate shit. It's very good, and people like it. People like it. We have been getting feedback, very good feedback on that.
That's really, really good to hear. I like the design instantly. I thought, man, that's cool. It's almost got like that kind of metal look where you can look at it and think, man, yeah, this is like mosh alcohol, literally. You're drinking this like, it's, um,
Yeah, it's a metal beer. It's a metal beer.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, man. But the artwork as well on the shirts in the store is really cool. And a particular favorite of mine is Space Crows, where you've got like the crow skull and you've got kind of like the laser beams coming out of the eyes. And I'm like, man, that's cool. And it's got like that cosmic vibe to it, you know, which is obviously there with your music. And that is really cool. And that is one that definitely grabbed me. I mean, the other one's good as well, where it's got the green paint. That's kind of like it's got that tribal look. But I guess it's a bit of the sci-fi nerd in me. When I was looking and I saw the Space Crow shirt, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. So, have you? Are you
Ooh.
planning? Are you planning any more new search? See, can't speak English. Never. Are you planning any more new shirts and any possible? I know the beer's only been around a year. There's wondering if possible limited edition run of a beer, maybe a supporter tour at one point. You know.
Yeah, I think all that's possible.
Mm,
But for now, the only sure thing we're doing is the releasing of the next single.
yeah, yeah.
It's very close. It's at the end of this month,
Oh man.
and with that, we're gonna have another art, which is
Oh,
totally different. It's totally different from the other one, and we might be thinking on having new merch with that or with Umbra.
oh,
Otherwise, there's gonna be a new one. Yeah, for sure.
dude, when that single drops, let me know. I have to bring you back on the show and we'll chat about the single, the
Oh
video,
yeah,
and everything.
absolutely.
That would be really interesting, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah, thank you. Schedule yourself for October 31. It's gonna
October
be on
31.
Halloween.
Oh,
Yeah.
Halloween. Oh man. All right, definitely. I'll get with you in an email after the show as well, and we'll set something up for that to help promote it. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
So
man.
just,
That's perfect.
oh no, you'll be very welcome. I'm just curious as well. You know, outside of the music you make, and I know the some of the inspirations with the bands as well. And you mentioned earlier, you know, that you did music at college. Uh, you know, I obviously saw the Michael Jackson. Well, we can see the Michael Jackson T-shirt, and you mentioned
Yeah.
Queen. So you're obviously a passionate music fan overall. I just wondered, what are some of the other styles of music outside of metal that you enjoy? And another part of this loaded question would be, is there any particular genre of music or a singer or a band or an artist that you feel does something different and stands out, you know, catches your attention?
Oh yeah. I think I I can talk about this like for hours because I love music. I'm
Same.
such a fan. I'm such a fan of music. I think we have time for this last question,
Yeah.
and thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me here today.
De nada, mi amigo.
Uh, Likewise, my friend.
Mm.
Um, what I like the most is to have very weird music done properly, done as a masterpiece.
Mm.
And I think, for example, Queen has masterpieces. Oh yeah, Michael Jackson, a lot of masterpieces, and the same with bands like Survivor, Journey. Judas Priest. I love Judas Priest. They have a lot of masterpieces, and that's what I like to enjoy. Like
Mm.
something to move me, to get any kind of impact in me, because after you listen to many songs for the whole life, uh, you don't get any new reactions. It's all about the same. So when I get something very different and that I really knew, that I really like, sorry, it is because it's very, very weird, and many of my friends and my family, maybe they don't like. Maybe they said like, "What are you fucking hearing? What that's about?" Because it's that very weird. So
Yeah.
I like a lot of bands like Hungurtu,
Yeah.
which is a Mongolian group, folk music group. It's very weird, but it's like traditional music with
Yeah.
overthrow singing and folk instruments. It's very cool. I like also masterpieces like Miles Davis
Yeah.
in the back. He plays trumpet and is really like from another planet. I love it. Another artist I love, uh, Eivor. She's a girl from,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Iceland or somewhere. And yeah.
you know her, yeah.
Yeah.
She's from Cote d'Ivoire. I know.
Mm.
Yeah, it's from an island. I don't
Mm.
remember, but it's near to United Kingdom.
Mm. I think it's Iceland. I
And
think. Mm.
yeah, Eivor, she has an incredible voice, and she does like a folk music
Mm.
on her own style. It's beautiful. I also like a lot this band from Norway. It's called Gate. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's Norway language,
Right.
but it is written as gate,
Think I know
but
who
it's
you mean.
pronounced got, something like that, got or
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
Is a female singer in a rock band, very heavy band, but also alternative, indie,
Yeah.
and I love them. They have folk instruments as well, and the way they combine that is like really incredible. Incredible. You gotta check them.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Well. So yeah, they get in that sense. So it, like we've been saying with what you do with your music, you like things as well that have that different quality, something that it is pushing the boundaries, is
Yeah,
propelling that artist forward. And yeah, that always makes very interesting music. And you're right, not every person can always get that. It might be a bit too weird for them, like, no, this is too random, but they say, but there's something unique and different about it. Ivor, I think she did some songs for a series called The Last Kingdom. I'm not 100%
yeah.
sure.
She's the
Very,
one.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
very, very
And
beautiful music.
she has collaboration with Wardruna.
Yeah, oh, they're good as well. Yeah.
They are
There's,
very good.
as we've been saying, there's something to be said about music that's paying homage, and as you said earlier, respecting the legacy from all of these ancient cultures. As we know, we've been saying this, it's almost as if it embodies that soul and spirit, and it's like a kind of a lesson in a way of saying, remember where we were from as well. So very, very interesting. I always say this to guests when we get towards the end of an episode. If there's anything they would like to shout out, obviously we want to get the word out about the new single and where people can find you, and I'll put all the links in the description for where they can follow Eshtadur. But yeah, is there anybody or anything you would like to shout out as well, just before I let you go today?
No, I think that's it. I'm really thankful for your invitation today.
Very
It
welcome.
was a very huge pleasure for me, and now I just want to say that you gotta be waiting. I hope for our next single. It's gonna be
Mm,
October 31, and it's gonna be a video clip on that also. And let's schedule
yeah,
everyone's so that everyone can check it out.
definitely, man. I will get with you off air in a moment, and we'll set something up to help promote that as well. I want to thank you for joining me today, especially sat in the car as well. I do appreciate it, man. And thanks for just providing such an interesting conversation, telling me about the history, the influences with the band, everything you do, and about Crow Beer as well. Even that chat was cool. You're welcome on this show anytime, and obviously I hope to set something up with you to promote the next single. I want to thank as well John from Asher Media for connecting us. Really appreciate it, man. And thank you to everybody out there who's either watching now or will tune in later when I get this up on the channel. Everybody have a great day. I shall see you on the next episode. Please remember to support, subscribe, and follow me, and then you can stay up on everything that is happening. If you're interested in coming on Fed Up as well, just reach out. It is multi-genre and open to pretty much all music, so just contact me. Again, thank you to Og from Eshtadur, and I'm going to do the uncomfortable part now where I click end stream and it freezes for a couple of seconds, and I'm like, has it stopped? So that's, here we go, folks. See you in the next episode. Pause.